Dear students, how are you at home? I hope you are keeping safe and I hope you are studying well because you know that today is a very crucial moment for all over the world because you know that COVID-19 has attacked us from the very beginning of the year 2020 and still it is prevailing all over the world, and for this purpose we are the teachers all over the country are taking online video class, and you are invited to watch our video class, and we regularly take this video class as usual, and I advised you to maintain some health rule. That means you should use mask and hand sanitizer when you go out of home. You must wear mask and use hand sanitizer because this virus can attack us any moment, any time, and so we should keep ourselves free from all kinds of germs, dear students. And at the same time, I will advise you to practice our national anthem. And you know that as all the educational institutions are closed for this purpose of COVID-19, and we don't know when we will return our normal life and we will meet our students in our educational institutions. And for this purpose, I hope you will practice our national anthem, and we should not forget our national anthem because it is involved in our national life, our independence, freedom, and it bears, the identity of the nationality. And if there is no national anthem, there is no expectation of an independent country. And for this region, every human being of the country should practice this national anthem. So, dear students, I again suggest you to recite and sing our national anthem staying at home. And besides this activity, you should read regularly because if you do not read regularly, you cannot make you prepared for the coming exam, and this disease will not last a long time. One day we will of course come to our normal life. So dear students, I will not lengthen my lecture. Now I have come to my topic. In my today's topic, I will going to take narration, and you know that in my previous class I taught you narration, but I could not finish it. And before starting my lecture, I would like to introduce myself. I am Aizur Rahman, Assistant English Teacher, Alipur Union Secondary School, Alipur Satpura. Dear students, in my previous class, I to assertive and interrogative sentence of narration. Today I am going to take imperative sentence, and before starting imperative sentence we have to know that what imperative sentence is. Imperative sentence is a kind of sentence which indicates advice, order, command, request, etc. And this sentence starts with verb. There is no subject in this sentence, and that's why this sentence is somewhat different from other sentence, because this sentence starts with verb without any subject. Though there is subject, but it is hidden, and always this hidden subject is you. But we generally do not write this subject. Okay, dear students. Now, at first I am giving an example on the blackboard. First, speak the truth. This is an example of imperative sentence, because this sentence starts with main verb and there is no subject in front of the sentence, and that's why it is called imperative sentence. And how can we make indirect narration in this case? There are some rules of narration in this context, and you should keep in mind that if there is advice, we should write advice instead of said. Okay, dear students, such as dear learners, let's have a look on the blackboard. I have written a sentence. The teacher said, "Be truthful." In the speech, there is imperative sentence because the sentence starts with be and it is the main verb, and so this is imperative sentence. And in this case, this sentence indicates advice, because the teacher here advise the students to be truthful in their life, and so this sentence is indicating advice, and that's why we should use advice instead of said. Dear learners, I can say the teacher advised, and we should discard comma and quotation, and instead of the it we should use to. Okay, dear students, we should use to, and if the sentence is negative we should use not to, and there will be no change of verb, so the verb should be truthful. Okay, dear learners, just look at the blackboard. The teacher advised to be truthful, because instead of comma and quotation we have used to, and we will not sense any verb pattern, because we know that in assertive sentence, interrogative sentence and exclamatory sentence, in this type of sentences, there should be change of main verb according to the pattern of narration. But in this sentence, verb should be unchanged. Okay, dear learners, now we will going to another example. Dear learners, have a look on the blackboard. Here is an example of imperative sentence. Father said to me, comma quotation, do not run in the sun. In other words, father uh, forbids me to run in the sun. And in this case, if any forbidden word in direct speech, we should use forbid with instead of said, and we may write father forbid me. Here do not, but we cannot use here not to, because forbid is a negative word, and that's why we cannot use any negative word father, and that's why we may write here to run in the sun. Okay, dear learners, if we use forbid and then we cannot use not to instead of comma and quotation. So, dear learners, if we use forbid, we never use any negative word in this sentence. Okay, dear students, now I am going to another example. Dear learners, let's have a look on the blackboard an example of imperative sentence which start with let. And we know that sometimes imperative sentence starts with let or letters, let plus object, etc. And if this sentence starts with let, it indicates two things. One is wish and other is purpose. But as let here does not take any plural subject or first person such as us, so it indicates wish, and we can write wish instead of set. So I may write here he wished that. We should not use object. We may get directly in this context. So he wished that here object must be subject, and you know that let takes always object form, and so here me is an object. But when I sense indirect speech, I must take or write subject form of the object. and that's why me should be changed into object, subject, and me is a first person, and so it indicates the subject, and that and subject must go to the indirect narration. So here he, me should be changed into he, and we next write might instead of let. Okay, dear students, we must write might instead of let. Okay, might and do the work. This word also will not also be changed. So we might write here do the work. This is the form of imperative sentence let. And I am going to give another example of using letters, such as they said, comma quotation starts, let us play football. Dear learners, look at the blackboard. I have written an example of imperative sentence using letters. Let us play football, and this is the purpose. Because the person proposed another person to do something, and that's why we must write proposed or suggested instead of said. So I may write here they proposed that, instead of comma quotation we may write that. In let and let us, we must write let, but when we saw another type of imperative sentence in the above sentence, we may write here to or not to. But in this context, let and let us, we must use that instead of comma quotation. So I may write here, they propose that us is an object and it must indicates the subject they, and they will come here. They, and if let us in imperative sentence we may write should. We may write should. Okay, dear students, should and play football. Its present form will be remain. Will remain football. Okay, dear learners, this is the some rules of imperative sentence of using direct narration to indirect narration, and in this way we have to complete other sentences related to this uh, context. And now I am going to give an example of optative sentence. Dear students, do you know what optative sentence is? Optative sentence is the kind of sentence which indicates a prayer and wish of somebody, because in this sentence we wish something good or welfare for a person, for the country, and for any kind of purpose. And so I will give an example of imperative sentence and how can we change direct narration into indirect one. Such as Dear learners, we said, may Allah bless you. This is an example of imperative sentence because in this sentence I have written may at first of the in front of the sentence, and you must remember that in operative sentence may will be written or may will be in front of the sentence or in front of the starting of the sentence, and it also long or may at the first portion of the sentence, and it will indicate prayer or wish for something or somebody. Okay, dear students, and in this case, if the sentence indicates wish, we can write wish instead of said. And if we think that it indicates prayer, then we may write prayed instead of said. Because how can you imagine the sentence? How can you comprehend the sentence? At first, you have comprehend the idea of the sentence. Okay, dear students. So I may write here, he wished that, because I think that this sentence indicates wish. So I write here wish that. And if I indicate, if I think the sentence indicates prayer, I will write prayed here. Okay, dear students. So I may write here Allah. Allah will be answered because Allah is third person, and you know that in about third person in direct narration it never be changed into indirect narration. So I must keep the word answered because Allah is third person. Allah, and may will be changed into might. Might and bless will be answered because after might is modal auxiliary, and after modal auxiliary the verb will never be changed. Bless you will be changed into me because you second person and it indicates the object, but there is no object after said. So if there is no object after said, we will imagine me. Okay, there is no sub objective form after said. We imagine me as an object, and that's why I write here me. Okay, dear students, this is an example, and I will give another example. She said, long live Bangladesh. Dear learners, she said, long live Bangladesh. This is also an example of optative sentence because this sentence starts with long. You must keep in mind that optative sentence starts with may or long. So I may write here, she wished that, here the subject is at the end, so we must write the subject at the beginning. Bangladesh is also a third person singular number, so it will not be changed. Bangladesh, long and live, and we also use might after subject. Might live long. Okay, dear students, long live changed, should be changed, live long. Dear learners, now I am going to give an example of exclamatory sentence. Okay, exclamatory sentence such as he said, comma quotation starts, how beautiful the bird is. Dear students, this is an example of exclamatory sentence because this sentence starts with how, and you must keep in mind that exclamatory sentence starts with how, what, alas, hurray, bravo, and etc. And this sentence indicates the sentiment of the mind, okay, the situation of the mind, and it occurs abruptly, it occurs suddenly, and expressing our sorrow, expressing our joy, expressing our sentiment, etc. Okay, so this sentence is imperative sentence indicating the abrupt condition of mind, and this is also indicating happiness or joy, because how beautiful the bird is, because the bird is very beautiful, and so the person arouses his feelings by uttering this sentence. Okay, dear students, so we can may write here, instead of said, I may write exclaimed with joy if the sentence indicates joy or happiness, and I may write exclaimed with sorrow if the sentence indicates sorrow or regret. Okay, dear students, so I may write here exclaimed with sorrow, and instead of command quotation we may write that, and we now we may write the subject. The subject is the bird. The bird is here third person, and third person will not be changed, so we may write the bird is will be changed into was. Okay, according to verb was, and how, instead of how we may write very. Okay, how plus adjective, if how plus adjective we may write very, and if hot plus noun we may write great, and if hot plus article plus adjective plus noun we may also write very. There are three special rule of using very or great in the exclamatory sentence in this way of very beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, dear students. Now I am giving another example. She said, "What a pity." What a pity. Pity means regret or sorrow. So this sentence is indicating sorrow or regret. So we may write exclaimed with sorrow. She exclaimed with sorrow. Sorry, in the above sentence I may write here with joy then, because this sentence indicating joy, enjoyment, happiness. So we must write exclaim with joy. But here she exclaimed with sorrow. Sorrow that there is you have noticed in this sentence that there is no subject and verb. If there is no subject and verb of exclamatory sentence, we must use it and is as subject and verb with the imagination. Okay, there is So we may write here it was, as we imagine is, so is must be changed into was. It was a and hot plus article plus noun. If hot plus article plus noun, we may change hot into great. Okay, so we may write here great. It was a great city. Okay, dear students. So in this way, we will change other typical sentence from direct narration into indirect one. So, dear learners, that's all from me today. I hope I will meet you another time, and I will give you some information of passive narration. Today time is very short, so I could not complete all the grammatical item of narration. And today I completed all the sentence narration. That means assertive, interrogative, and optative, imperative, exclamatory, and so on. And I will teach you passive narration uh, my next class. So I hope you will keep safe, keep your health, keep your body from all kinds of diseases, and I hope you will enjoy our video class. And hoping or expecting this, I have to finish my lecture, and again I will thank you for enjoying my class. Thank you.